You're married, settled, happy. Those dating days are long behind you. But do those past relationships still haunt you?
You gotta risk love, Sandra. Risk it. I didn't. Look at me. I'm an empty, lonely ghost of a man. It doesn't mean that you're never gonna get hurt. But I can guarantee you this. Any pain that you feel will never, ever compare to the regret that comes from walking away from love. As someone who's felt a lot of both, trust me, pain beats regret every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Don't run away.
Oh, we're all just having varying degrees of Matthew McConaughey moments in the studio. That's a clip from the movie The Ghosts of Girlfriends Past, where Matthew McConaughey's character is visited by his past relationships and he realizes he's been running away. It's a chick flick that isn't so far-fetched, according to my next guest. Studio 5 marriage and family contributor Dr. Liz Hale says we all have a little emotional residue left over from previous relationships, or in other words, marriage ghosts that won't go away. Hi, Lizzie.
Hello, dear Brooke.
We kind of like Matthew McConaughey. We kind of like that Matthew McConaughey.
You can always rely on him, right, for some of those really juicy script pieces, you know. And what's interesting about that is what's the main emotion underneath that is fear. The main emotion of these ghosts that haunt us. Right? It's all about fear. And I think whether we're looking at our past as far as, our childhood, or maybe someone we dated or someone we've been married previously, I think those ghosts can haunt us today, but they can also really teach us a lot about ourselves.
You're going to help us today be ghost busters.
Yes.
Getting rid of those past relationships that may be, hanging around in the negative sense. And you say that starts with awareness.
True. And I think the first question to really ask yourself is, okay, now, am I having this main reaction to my partner or my past? Which one is it? I think that's the first question to really ask yourself. And being aware, facing ghosts is not for the faint of heart, Brooke. It takes some time. It takes some emotional energy and maturity and a level of honesty that I think can be really painful. But again, where is the past in your present? And is it for better or for worse? So ask yourself, so if I had never been hurt like this before, would I be reacting this way, right? If I knew that my husband was absolutely trustworthy, he's giving me no reason to believe he's not, how would I respond differently? Why am I responding to someone that's not even here in my present? So really recognizing them.
So give us an example, Liz, of a ghost that might be showing up in our present relationship, in an argument or in a conflict. What does that look like? What might that look like?
Yes, well, I think sometimes it's like my husband might be late, let's say. And it's like, oh no, I remember what was late in my boyfriend, right, of years gone by. When he was late, it's because he was cheating on me, for instance. So suddenly your little mind goes, oh no, here we go again. How did I choose poorly again? We just have that panic and that fear and that anxiety. It's interesting, the amygdala really wants to keep us safe. So the amygdala in your brain will say, don't be stupid, right? Don't make a foolish decision again. Remember what happened last time.
Got it. So there's past relationships, romantic relationships. What about past family relationships? Do those show up as well?
Those are invisible ties, and they're wonderful, right? But I think sometimes even when our family history was really good, sometimes there's still a little bit of that residue, as you say. It's difficult. So when I'm sitting with a couple, let's say a young couple, there's not just three of us in the room, there's a lot of us in the room. There are those invisible family ties, right? Where those two people grew up very differently, sometimes around the issues of money or how to have a home, how to set up a home, or cleanliness of a home, or even parenting. Those differences, and the better those two people can individuate from their families of origin and create their own family, the better they will do.
So you're saying in the counseling session is the mother, the mother-in-law, the father. I mean, they're all kind of playing a role in what's being said and shared.
There's a lot of us in there, right? Yeah, those are those invisible ghosts. And I think it's also hard for parents when children launch, right? When they first go to college or when they do move out and live independent lives or get married. It's really difficult on them. And my best suggestion for parents who might be mourning, and I think men and women, fathers, mothers mourn differently, is to, it's really quiet in the home, so get some music on, play your favorite playlist, get out those baby books that you never finish and finish them and reminisce and cry, it's okay. But I think it's really important to kind of close that chapter and get really excited for the next season of life. the season of being adult to adult can be some of the best years. The
I
best
appreciate
years
you
yet-
acknowledging that,
yet
because
to be.
sometimes the ghosts feel like they're still at home, being missed.
Oh, yes, of course, of course.
And being pined away for. Another way to get rid of ghosts is to look at our words and our actions, you say.
Yes, you know, there's this kind of sad satire of a wife. She's driving away with her bags packed, and her husband says, Marie, stop, because if you leave me, that means my ex-wife will be right. No one can live with me. It's just so sad, right? So we might be married to one person, but he's tied to the past of the other person. So he suddenly realizes, like, oh my gosh, here's my self-fulfilling prophecy, is that no one can live with me.
Oh.
So, you know, bless him. I think all of us can kind of relate to that. A divorced woman I worked with experienced many ghosts from her past relationship where her husband wasn't faithful. And she finally really did a deep dive in individual therapy. I was really proud of her, because she came to this conclusion that divorce didn't just happen to her. She also allowed a marriage to die. And she had to really understand the part that belonged to her, that she really quit trying herself. So now in her marriage today, she and her husband, when they both get triggered by these ghosts of the past, because they both have been married, they look at each other and just say, it's okay, it's just a ghost.
Okay, just a ghost.
Right? It's just a ghost. It's okay, we just need a little space and grace.
All right, Liz, thank you so much. Ghosts of our past haunting our marriage today, and things we can do to be ghostbusters and get them on out.